I'm Not an Expert, Signature Series, week number 2. Hey, welcome back to Brow Tab. This is a channel for entrepreneurs who are ready to take their business, their lives, their income to the next level. This week, we're continuing on with the Signature Series that we started last week. If you haven't watched it yet, go watch it and come back. It can be watched in any order, but basically I explained how the Signature Series started. It was supposed to be an interview with a social media specialist, expert, guru, whatever you want to call them, and it fell through in a really annoying, frustrating way. I'm not going to tell the story again, but I decided I wanted to use the content that I created to make that interview, and I'm going to interview myself because I've been using social media for 8 years as a business owner and as a consumer of social media, and I've learned a lot. So I'm here to share it with you today. Question number 1 for today: what is the best content to post to grow, to reach more people? Because as business owners, we want more clients, we want more students, we want more customers, whatever it is, we want more of them, right? So we want to use social media to reach them, to connect with them. So what is the best content to post? My best content to post would be, and I'm going to preface this with, this is right now. This is always changing, but Reels 100%, because they are designed to reach past your followers, especially if they are super targeted to a specific niche that you are trying to reach. The second one right now that is super being pushed out is carousels. So carousels are, if you're not familiar with them, they're not the one post. They are multiple posts, right? And now we can do up to 20, which is wild. But they're multiple posts. They don't have to be a still image. Each one can be a video if you want. And the key here to getting them to help you reach more people is to add music. So why this is super important is because it can trigger the algorithm or trigger Instagram or whatever you want to call it to consider it a reel and then show up in the Reels Explore page. So not only are you getting to be shown as a carousel, it's also getting to be shown as a reel because of that music that you added. And of course, if you add a more trending audio, it's going to help push you out even further. Question number 2, how do you turn your audience, your followers, into paying clients? That is the goal, right? We want them to come see us for our services. We want them to buy from us. We want them to spend their hard-earned money on us. So how do we turn them from follower, Instagram user to actual paying client? We do this by connecting with them, by creating a community. So social media is called the social media for a reason. You are supposed to be social on there. That's why there's all those quotes about like, don't post and ghost. You're actually supposed to be spending time in the app, engaging with your followers, engaging with your audience. So how you do that is you create a connection, you create a community. And the first way that you're going to do that is you are going to welcome them to your page, to your world, to your business, whatever you want to call it, when they start to follow you. You get that follow notification. Send them a DM. Say, hey, welcome, thanks for the follow. Ask them to, or tell them to ask you any questions. Tell them to feel free to reach out with questions. Or if they are ready to book, if they are ready to make a purchase, to reach out and you can help them do that. You want to be communicating with them and you're starting that conversation, and you're also showing that you're a human being behind the business, behind the brand, behind the brand. And doing that creates trust, which is one of the biggest aspects of people making a purchase, making a commitment with you, is that they actually trust you, especially online, because we have access to so many people. They need to have trust. So you are reaching out, you are creating a connection immediately. You could build from there. They could be ready to make a purchase immediately. It could take a month, it could take a year, but you're building a connection as soon as they enter your world. Second way to do this, to create community, is your stories. And if you know me, you know I love stories. I actually have to hold back on sharing too many. But I love stories because they create connection. So your stories generally reach mostly just your current followers. Yeah, sometimes they do go out to non-followers, but what they're really designed for is to create connection with your current followers. So sharing in stories is kind of like sharing behind the scenes, sharing your actual life, whereas your feed is kind of more of like your actual storefront. And then the stories, you could say, are like your back room, right? So you're sharing your day, you're sharing your life, you're sharing more about you, and this lets people know who you are and makes people like you because you're an actual human being, and it also makes them trust you. So it's a huge thing to have know, like, and trust factors, and stories are one of the best way to do this. Take them along with you on your day. Just take them along with you, share a little bit about your life, share a little bit about your business, and that is going to create more of a connection, and in turn, know, like, and trust, and then purchase. Question number 3, if you could share only one piece of content, what would it be? I kind of already answered this in the last question, but you said one, I'm gonna say 3. So number 1 is stories, because they are so much fun. They're raw, they're real, they're easy to put up because they literally should be what you're doing in your day. This is the epitome of what I said in last week's video in the signature series was document, don't create. So this is a way for you to document and then share it, and then you still have that content that you can turn into a B-roll or a reel later. So it's kind of double duty in that sense, and it is just fun. Once you start doing it, you're getting more connections. It's just a really fun way to share, and a really easy, unedited, raw, unfiltered, whatever you want to call it, way of sharing. So number 2 is memes, and I've been sharing one meme every Friday for probably, I'd say at least 2 years right now. And fuck, they're so much fun, especially when you get like all of the replies back of how relatable they are to your followers. And they're so much fun. And there's nothing more fun than scrolling through or going through people's stories and seeing your meme popped up because they share them. And that is the next reason why memes are such a great piece of content to share, because they're super, super shareable. So we do want to create shareable content, and not in the sense of the fact that that's like an engagement on the Instagram backend. Yeah, that's really great too, but because they're being shared. So if one person shares them to somebody that's not following you and they love it and then they share it, do you see how that trickle effect can grow and bring you a lot of new followers? Because they are relatable. The key is making them relatable, especially to who you are trying to attract, to your niche, to your followers, to your audience. But they're super fun. They're easy to make in Canva. I just fucking love memes. Number 3, my last favorite piece of content would be reels, because they can give you so much reach, but also because they are really fun too. And my advice here is to only create reels that you actually want to create. That is like such a big part of it, and I feel like I've just realized this recently, is like if you're creating content on social media that you're not having fun with, that you're not excited about, it's gonna come across in that piece of content, whatever it is, whether it's a reel, whether it's like carousel post that you created in Canva, whether it's a meme, it's gonna come across, and it's gonna come across even more in a reel, especially if it's you doing something. If it's a trending audio of you singing, or you doing whatever silly thing it is, or it's even B-roll, like if it's not coming from a place of you actually wanting to create it, you actually wanting to share what you have to say, and actually putting out this piece of content, it's gonna come across that way. So if you find a trend it's a trend, obviously it's doing well, but you can't relate to it, you're not into it, fuck that, don't do that trend. Find a different one, or post something entirely different. Make your own trend. Do something authentic that you actually feel good about, that you're excited about sharing, because that is going to come across, and that's what's going to make it be better, do better, perform better all around. That is it for this week's signature series interview with the social media user expert questions. We are going to continue on with this next week. I already have questions set up, but if you have more questions that you would like me to ask, please drop them in the comments below. I want to get to everything we can talk about social media. Please hit like and subscribe if you didn't watch last week's first signature series video. Go watch it here, and I'll see you next week.